Hey, what's up, gamers? Skelemystyk. As you can see by the huge tree behind me, we are in the Christmas season once again in Wizard101. Here we are, another almost full year completed with another full year's adventures, foolishness, fun, friends, and, well, just a lot of the other side things that go with playing Wizard101. Being as a new year is coming, just like I always do, I'm going to post this video with my list of hopes for the new things to come in the new year of Wizard101. Top 5 best things that Wizard101 could do for 2018. With, I might add a little bonus for the Christmas season right now. Once a year, every year, Wizard101 gives out free crowns to all players. And that is a cool idea. That's a great idea. It is, in fact, for some of us poorer players, including me, because yes, I am one of them. It doesn't seem that way, but I am. A great idea would be to not just give out crowns once a year as a holiday type thing, but start doing things like, oh, for instance, whenever they have the birthday celebration, you'll find random gift boxes. Just, you know, there'll be one on the lawn here. There'll be one on the lawn over by Penny Dreadful. There'll be some in Ambrose's house. That kind of thing. You'll find random gift boxes. And they'll have, you know, a minor treasure card, maybe a little bit of gold. If you're really, really lucky, they'll have a mount or something like that in it. How about if, instead of making crown giving a once-a-year magical, not going to happen any other time event, if we had in this spiral, for each holiday, let's say for Easter we had Easter eggs. Let's say that for St. Patty's Day we had shamrocks. That kind of thing, you know what I'm talking about. A thing that's iconic to each holiday. Anyhow, that a player could go around Wizard City or Dragonspire or Mirage or wherever they were playing at the time and find some of these little random hidden icons. And that in those icons would be a small amount of crowns. Say it's 5 crowns. Say it's 10 crowns. Say it's, you know, hey, you hit the big time Donald Trump lotto and you found 100 crowns. I do believe that this is one of those things that would greatly, greatly increase interest in Wizard101, the game as a whole, and it would help out Kings Isle's rep a little bit. I don't really see a downside to these crown gifts happening. So anyhow, that one's one that I'd like to see in 2018, but it really is a holiday type thing. You know, maybe they could only run it during the holidays, but I don't see any reason why they couldn't do that all the time. Now that the watching videos for crowns situation is having so much trouble, hey, that sounds like a good, fun, and interesting replacement. I promise you. Wizards would know all of the areas of Wizard101 like they never knew them before. If you mention free crowns, people will go through every blade of grass in the commons to find those crowns. I assure you. If you want to see playtime increase, Kings Isle, Tom, Wizard101, whoever wants to listen to me, that would be the way to do it. Put some crowns out there. Okay, so now that I've got that idea out of the way, let's go to my regular top 5 that I really had in mind. I just kind of thought that one up while I was actually, while the load screen was going on, and I was looking at the 12 Days of Christmas promotion. Okay, number 5 on my list for great ideas for Wizard101 in 2018. We have fishing. And not everybody does fishing, but those who do think it's really cool. To be honest, those who don't think fishing is really cool, you're crazy. Fishing can put you out a ton of gold. It can get you a code wand. It can, I mean, there's so many recipes that you make with fish. Fishing is really cool in my opinion. It really is. I know I'm trying to sell it right there. Hopefully I'm doing a good job of it. Wouldn't it be a cool deal if instead of having to spend crowns for fishing luck potions, yeah, I know, Kings Isle, I know, you're making money on it, I know. If we could find droppable, farmable fishing gear, you know, instead of this colored bubble thing for fishing, to me, that I like the idea of fishing, but that kind of just, that blows the whole program. I don't want to throw a colored ball out and catch a fish. I want to have a fishing rod. I want to have a hook. I want traditional fishing. I like traditional fishing. So, how about some droppable items? How about fishing rods? How about fishing lures? You know, a special lure that you can only use so many times that has 75% fishing luck. Or, I don't know, a rod that lasts forever that adds a 10% bonus. Things like that. I would like to see more done and developed with fishing. Even this, how about this? A lure that tells you what fish has bit your lure so that you don't pull in 3,000 useless decoys or ice kudas or fire kudas or whatever. That would, oh my God, I would farm long. I would farm hard. I might even be persuaded to spend crowns on a lure that did that, saving me so much fishing time. All of you who fish know my pain. You burn up a whole bunch of energy trying to catch, oh, let's say, arrowfin. And because arrowfin's a rare balance in a pond with a bunch of common balances, you catch 30,000 decoys or 30,000 balanced kudas or 30,000 of anything trying to get the one fish that you need to complete your collection. A lure that told you what fish was biting or what fish was in the pond or a spell that did that would be incredibly welcome. All right, that is number 5. Let's go with number 4. Number 4 is a long-time pet peeve of mine. It's also, I don't know about pet peeve, but it's also a peeve of anybody who decorates their houses with their pets and mounts. I personally, I have the storm house, and I have that glitch that like takes you out under the water through your house. You know, for those of you who glitch, you know what I'm talking about. Long and long and long, I have thought about making that a real live glitched aquarium area. You know, where I could put my whale mount, where I could put my manta ray mount, where I could put my squid mount. I would love it very much, Kings Isle, if we could have a non-saddle state. Say whenever you've dismounted or you have equipped your mount at the house as a decoration item, the saddle comes off of it. This is about game immersion. I want to, whenever I use my mount as a decorator item, I want the saddle to be gone so that it looks, I mean, my display, you know, I've got a squid in a fish tank. So there's no saddle on it. So it looks cool. So it looks like it's supposed to be there. I would like a no saddle mode for mounts. If you're using them as a decoration, great. I mean, if you're going to ride them around, sure, fine. Put the saddle on them if you got to. I personally think that a horse saddle on a squid looks silly, but that's just me. Anyhow, let's have a no saddle mode for mounts, especially whenever you're using for decoration or displaying them in your home or what have you. That sounds like an easy. A lot of times when I make these suggestions to Kings Isle, they're like, "Oh, well, we can't do this. The coding would be so hard. We'd have to go back and do this and that and the other, this and that and the other." Yeah, I know. I know. Fine. The coding is hard. How hard is it to take the saddle off of a mount? That sounds like less coding rather than more coding, doesn't it? So let's go for that. That's my number 5 idea. Okay. My number 4 idea. For my number 4 idea, we're going to have to go up here just for a hot minute and pop into the Bazaar. Because it's something I want you to see. Into the Bazaar. Okay, in the Bazaar. Let's go with robes at random. And we'll go with usable. Okay. What you see here, you see me clicking through these, and I'm sure you're like, well, what's he clicking for? What's he clicking for? I would like to see in the Bazaar, I would like to see Alec get up off his lazy butt and make some of his own items. Bazaar items. Just random, very good to even excellent random Bazaar items. That's what I want to see. Everything you see here. Let's go with shoes this time. Oh, no, hats. Okay. I guess I'm going with hats. Go with usable. Now, sure, they have some higher level items. They for the 108s, 118s, stuff like that. They have some of those items, sure. But these are all items that you can pick up from somewhere in the game as a drop that gets sold here and literally dropped here because nobody wants them. Well, maybe not even nobody, but most people don't want them. They're sold here because, well, it's excess to somebody. It's unwanted, essentially. How about if Alec, at random, had a really, really neat Bazaar item? And by really neat, I mean unique. The only place you can get it is from Alec Silverfist. He made it. He's putting it up for sale in the Bazaar, and you can't get it as a drop anywhere. I mean, people already farm Bazaar for reagents, for various things. Used to be pets. How about if we had some rare and unique Bazaar items that you could only get at the Bazaar, and essentially, that's the story I'm using, were made by Alec Silverfist himself and sold by him, and would be really, really cool. I mean, people already farm the Bazaar for so many things. Why not extra special gear? Why not some unique stuff? That's one of the things that I think that Wizard101 is really missing out on, is that all the gear, for instance, let's use the gear. All the gear, for instance, is available to everybody. And it's, while some of it is rarer, there's none of it that's unique. There's none of it that has only, maybe 10 copies in the entire game. Uniqueness is what gets people's interest. Having bragging rights that they have something that nobody else has gets game interest. It gets people playing. It gets people spinning crowns, for that matter. So Kings Isle, think about this. Let's have some rare and unique stuff from some rare and unique sources that isn't involved with 300 years of trying to farm for one thing and never getting it. That's my thoughts. All right, let's go ahead now and move on to my next idea. All right, for my next idea, I am in front of, if you don't already know, I am in front of the cave for Fight Club in Imperia. This is currently the area where people group up, gather about, or try team up, or try any method of things, social networking or whatever, to get a team to go in. The best strategy so far for doing Fight Club requires both life and fire, if not a couple of fires. Okay, so that's great. You're a life wizard and you're looking for a team, but man, you can't seem to find a useful fire player anywhere. I mean, anywhere. You've checked Team Up, you've checked the social boards, you've gone everywhere, and you can't seem to find. All you need is one fire. You have a couple other teammates, you have a Death in a Storm, or a Death in a Myth, or whatever. You have any other, and you really need one fire, just one fire, to complete your team to go in and do Fight Club. What do you do? Okay, well, hey, wait a minute. That's right, Bob. I've got a fire wizard on my account. That's right. He's a max. He's done all this stuff in Imperia. He could do this fight. But wait, if I play my fire, I can't play my life, and then we're out of a life. Can't find a life either. What do we do? How about, as an idea, if you could run multiple of your wizards from the same account at the same time? How many of you, and I'm one of these, I'll be the first to admit, I'm one of these, that would love to run two of my wizards at the same time because it has, I have certain needs. I have a certain need for certain schools to fight in Omen. Fire again is one of them. I always, everybody has a need for heals. I'm using fire and life as the examples because, well, they really fit for both Omen and this fight here. How about this? How about that? How about if you could use two of your wizards at the same time to do a particular task? Not only would that, King's Isle will be like, well, you can't double dip on drops. You can't have more drops than that. You know what? I would just be happy. Give me one set of drops. I would just be able I would be happier to be able to do the job I need to do, which is fight this boss or that boss or the other boss, using two of my wizards instead of spending forever trying to find another person on team to do this. Sure, the team up kiosk is a help, but it is not. Even now with the whole Derek bonus thing, it is not the be-all, end-all solution for fighting bosses. It is not. However, if you and a buddy decided you wanted to do Fight Club or Omen or one of these other bosses one day, and each of you had 2 wizards, then you could just team up together with the 2 of you and do the job you needed to do. You'd have all the wizards you needed ready to hand. You'd have all the skills you needed ready to hand because, well, you're running 2 wizards and your buddy that you trust is running 2 wizards. No problem. Problem over. This whole undercrowding for certain bosses would not be a problem. How many of you have asked, and I've seen this a lot, I know it's a lot because I've seen it a lot. How many of you have asked on social media, I need help to fight so-and-so. I can't seem to find any wizards, even on Team Up. Team Up takes forever. The wait is so long. How many of you said those words? How cool would it be to be able to run 2 of your wizards at different schools at the same time and solve the problem? That is my idea number 2. I hope you like that one because I'm really fond of it. Okay. Last and definitely not least, my top number 1 idea for great changes for 2018. Just like always, some of these items, let me go to some of my items. Some of my items have jewel slots. Now this sword, sure, it's a couple of points better in damage, a couple of points better in crit. It's just a tiny, slightly bit better, tiny bit better than the one that I had on. Okay. However, I'm staring right down the barrel of 2 square jewels. Square jewels, well, to my mind, block is, especially whenever it's not percentage block. So I use the stun block setting. The reason I use the stun block is, well, the only thing on that one is square jewel socket, so you have to use square jewels. My number 1 top idea for 2018. Kings Isle. Let us craft our own jewel sockets for our items. Let us choose what socket we want to put in there and gather the reagents and make a spell recipe and forge, as they say, the whole Eternal Forge thing, forge, craft, or whatever, apply the socket or sockets that we want to our equipment. Now, mind you, I'm not saying let us put 14 sockets on there and have a weapon of never to be equal quality ever again, because then nobody would farm and that defeats the purpose. I know. But hey, let me change those 2 square sockets to something I want. Tier jewels, star jewel, anything other than just those square sockets, which really, honestly, that's 2 sockets that don't really do me a lot of good. Let me change them to something that I would like to change them to. Even better, let's put, or be allowed to put, at least 1 jewel socket on our hats, on our robes, on our shoes. We're not there yet, and I would love to see that. Especially given that, really, to be honest, jewels as a whole don't add that much to what we're putting on there in the first place. Oh, I got an extra 27 block. Not 27% block, but 27 block. Really? I think that I should be allowed to add an extra jewel to that and have a whole plus 50 block. Ooh. So it's not like we're giving away the farm here by putting extra sockets on jewels, or even better, changing the sockets that we have. Guys, what do you think? Personally, I feel that's definitely the top idea for 2018. Let me hear your ideas. As always, y'all got a bunch of them that I never even thought of, and it's always good to share this information when we can. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button, a good hard smash as well. Subscribe, share, yell my name to everybody you know, because I would love to see more of you around here. If you want to hang out live, you're more than welcome to. I stream on Twitch pretty much every evening in the world. I start usually around 9:30, 10 p.m. Eastern. A lot of times we're doing farming for Fight Club or Omen or stuff like that, and you are more than welcome to join in. We would love to have you here. Until next time, this is Skelemystyk reminding you that whatever else you do, always love the game Peace!